He's got big avocados. She's got big avocados. But I've got the biggest avocados of them all. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did grow up in the 80s listening to AC/DC. Anyway, check this out. It's not an advertisement for those guys. They don't need it. It's an advertisement for my big avocados. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I've been giving regular reports on the progress of my one demonstration garden tree here at our nursery in Richmond. And as you can see, the demonstration garden has made absolutely no progress at all. But it's wintertime, so I'm hoping now is my big moment. I can really get some stuff done and make this thing look unbelievable so I can impress you when you come here. Anyway, so this is a reed avocado, as you probably know. Planted here, I think about 3 years ago. Again, I try to reiterate for new people how to plant avocados. You can see that we've planted this avocado high up on a mound, and get a perspective there. It's probably, 8-10 inches above the prevailing grade. Prevailing grade would be here, and we have upraised planter of like 4 or 5 inches, and then it slopes up from there. So that's what avocados love. They love all of this organic material, fluffy, loose, spongy soil. And that's what we have here. And the tree is extremely happy because of it. Every time we get a shipment of avocados, we dump all of the leaves that fall off of all of our avocados, and we throw them over here and they decompose. And that's something that avocados also love. So wherever you can get avocado leaves, literally let your tree keep the avocado leaves that fall into your tree, and also bring it more. Why not? And any kind of organic matter you can bring is really beneficial. They seem to just love it and eat it up. They almost like organic decomposing mulch better than dirt, we found out. We had an experiment, and it's actually another video. I think it's called The World's Best Avocado Container. Google that or find that. Maybe I'll put a link on the bottom if I can figure out how to do that. But anyway, people always, people from apartments, or they have a temporary housing somewhere. They want their avocado tree, but they're only there for 2 or 3 years, so they don't want to plant in the ground. By the time it starts making avocados, they have to move. So I was like, okay, we'll get some containers, right? So we got these wonderful, big, giant, heavy-duty plastic containers, and they're great for avocados. So as a demonstration here, we took a 15-gallon plant, put it in the 24-inch box, and we didn't really want to pack it in there permanently because we wanted to pull it out and sell the plant. So we put in just a whole bunch of bark, decomposing bark, like this stuff here, not even dirt, just woody bark. And as total backfill mix, left the plant in its container, put it in the box, put the bark all around it, thinking, all right, we'll just pull it right out, right? 2 or 3 months later, you go to pull it out, the tree is so happy looking, right? And then you go to pull the thing out and the whole box comes out because it liked it so much that out of the bottom of the holes in the container, it rooted into all the surrounding mulch like crazy. So I looked at that and thought, these things don't even want soil. They don't even want dirt. They want 100% barky mulch, even to be planted in. So anyway, I think there's really no maximum amount you can put in there as a percentage of soil to organic bark. So keep that in mind. That was kind of a new thing to me, kind of a discovery, kind of like how they discovered America. They thought they were in India. That's why the Indians are called Indians, or they used to be, not anymore. But anyway, that was a fortuitous discovery. So now I'm using even more mulch in my backfill mix. Okay, so back to the case in point here. This is a reed avocado, and it is such a beautiful thing. This is one of the more tropical avocados you can grow. In fact, it's probably the most tender of all the avocados that we grow here. And we actually get a substantial amount of frost here. It's strange. If you look at Golden Gate Palms, we're located at 425 Cutting Boulevard, Richmond, California. Look it up. You can see the aerial of our nursery. What you'll notice is there's bay on 3 sides. Bay to the north, bay to the west, and bay to the south. We're on a big peninsula. Now, what does that mean? When I first bought this property, I thought, okay, that means if a cold air mass comes from any of those directions, I'm protected because it's going to warm up over the warm bay before it hits me, and I'll be totally frost free. And so theoretically that would be the case. Now, then we start getting these wicked cold snaps here in the nursery, like 25 degrees, ice on the ground for 2, 3, 4 days. And anyway, what I've come to realize is that my nursery is in this like low spot. I'll show you how it works. There's plants right up Cutting Boulevard that don't freeze, and yet we freeze here. And now I think what's happening is all the cold air is rushing off of those hills off in the distance. I'll give you a zoom. Right there, those hills, those are the Berkeley Hills. Those are the north end of the Berkeley Hills, Kensington, what would that be? North Richmond Hills, Pinole, not Pinole, just Richmond. Anyway, the air is rolling off those hills, and it's this whole Cutting Boulevard is a slow downslope. And if you look this way, it's actually virtually flat. Then we have the hills of Point Richmond over there. And so I think we're literally in the low spot. So even though we have bay around us on 3 sides, I think all the cold air drains to this spot. The other thing you can't see, I'm not going to walk all the way over there. At the other end of the nursery over there, there's some big trees. There's a freeway, and there's a big upslope that goes up about 20 feet. And I think that acts as a cold air dam, and it goes all the way along. So I think cold air gets stuck here. So what's the whole point of that diatribe? Well, you never really can tell exactly how the microclimate's going to behave until you're there for 10 years. But this is colder than I thought. But even despite that, this guy has been thriving right here, and of course this year fruiting like crazy. So it proves to you that even in this cold spot, 25 degrees, once a tree is this big and established, even though it's the most tender of the bunch, is going to have no problem, right? When they're really little, they're more tender. But anyway, as you can see, the fruit is really holding on the tree well. It's all hidden. It's nice to have the fruit hidden under the foliage. It's kind of like you really want to see the fruit because it's so beautiful. But it's kind of like a beautiful woman that it's kind of covered in, something that's covering up. She's beautiful underneath, but it's like a mystery. So anyway, avocados are the same way. And it's good that the avocados are down under the foliage, hidden away, because the foliage actually protects these fruit from being burned by the sun. Now, once they're burned, they get discolored, and actually it messes up the fruit. And so it's really, really good. The tree is designed to cover its own fruit. If your tree has nothing but fruit and no foliage, well, you have a problem, because then you're going to get everything sunburned. But look at this. You look on this tree and you think, well, there's no fruit on this tree. And then you go underneath. Woo! And there it all is under there. Loaded. So I'm not sure. I should probably count how many avocados I have. I think I'll do that in the next video. But right now it's December 7th, tribute to Pearl Harbor. Never forget. And that's the condition of our tree. The timing on the tree, I've been going over this because it's kind of intriguing, and it's important to know for when you can eat the fruit. This fruit was born on the tree. So right now we are at December 7th, 2019. This fruit was born onto this tree in April, May of 2019. Now, most other fruits will basically ripen and be ready to eat like that season, like 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, depends on the plant. Like, things that are really quick are loquats. They get on the tree in February and January, and they're ready to eat like a month later. But then like apples, they'll be ready by, summer, fall from spring flowering. But in the case of these avocados, they're much more delayed. And this variety here will set fruit. And you can see the buds starting for next season's fruit set right there. These will come out, they'll get pregnant, they'll get big, and then they'll flower. They'll flower in April, May, and then they'll get fertilized by bees. And that'll set the fruit for the following season. But this fruit here won't be ready to eat until May, June, July, and it'll hold all the way through the summer. And so what you'll have is you'll have little baby fruit. Hopefully we'll show this like next summer. The baby fruit will be coming out right here, and the fruit from the year before will still be on the tree, and it'll be even bigger than this and ready to eat, but it'll still hold on the tree. So you'll have two different scheduling of fruit on the tree. So does that make sense? So the other things that are important here for you to know, one of the reasons why this tree is so successful is the fact that we were really good about painting the trunk white. It's really important. It lost all its leaves one year, had no fruit, and I thought it was going to die, and I freaked out and yelled at my employees. I don't yell at them often, but they ignored my request to paint this thing. I was like, paint my tree! And they finally did it. And once they did it, the tree totally did really well, totally recovered. And now it's, stoked. And I am just getting so hungry looking at this, but I have to wait another 4 or 5 months before I can eat this fruit. This fruit will have been on the tree for 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 months before I eat every single one of these things. And that is the Reed Avocado Report for December 7th, 2019. All right. Merry Christmas.